what's going on YouTube? So Lucky here, and today I'm going to be uploading another Minecraft pixel art build, and today we're going to be doing Kurama Ninetales Part 3. And if you enjoyed this build so far, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell to get notified, and if you've got any suggestions, feel free to suggest away. And without further ado, let's move back straight on to the build. And once again today, we're going to only be needing black concrete and our gold block, and with those blocks in our hands and we are ready to go and we're back at our build, we're just going to fly straight over to the one sticking out to the left over here that we placed last time. So this one sticking out over here, we're going to be flying back over to this one right here. And then once we are flying back to here, I'm just going to quickly put my gold block on my black concrete, there we go. Right, and now once we have flown back to here, we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from this one sticking out here. So, do a bottom left diagonal, and we're going to place one to the left. I'm just going to zoom out, just for those that didn't get where we're going off. So we're going to be going off that area right there. And I'm just going to fly back in. Now once you've flown back in, you've done this two right here. We're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And we're going to place one going to the left, just like so. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, what we're going to do is we're going to place one to the left, then one underneath, and fly back up, so back up to here, to the one that we just placed underneath. And we're going to place another 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do an up left diagonal from here, just like so. And there we go. Once we've done that, fly back to the one that we placed underneath right here. And once we've flown back to here, we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 2 going underneath. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal from here. And we're going to place 1 underneath. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal and place another 1 underneath, just like so. Then do another bottom left diagonal and place 2 underneath. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal. And then from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 3 underneath. So 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal, and this time we're going to place 4 going underneath, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we'll just have a quick zoom out of what we've done so far. That's what we should be looking like so far. And once we've done this, you're ready to go back in, we're going to fly back into the bottom of these 4 that we just placed underneath. And once we have flown back to here, we're going to do another 8 bottom singular left diagonals from here. So, 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And from this 8th one, we're going to place 1 go underneath, just like so. As you can see, it connects to that one kind of in the bottom right diagonal direction. And once we have done this, we're going to do another 3 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And from this 3rd one, we're going to place 1 going to the left, just like so. And then we're going to do another bottom left diagonal, and we're going to place another 1 going to the left again, just like so. And then do another bottom left diagonal. This time we're going to place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 on top. And then once we place 1 on top, we're going to fly down by 1, place 1 to the left. And then we're going to fly back up to the one that we placed on top. And once we're flying back to this one that we placed on top, we're going to place another 3 going up from here. So, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to place 1 to the left, and then another 1 on top. And then we're going to do an upright diagonal from here, and place 1 going to the right. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal, just like so. There we go, that bit should look like that. And once we have done that, we're going to fly over to this 2. So where we just went up by 1 and then did this section here. We want to fly to this bottom line here, which I didn't mean to break that. So to this one right here, we're going to place 1 to the left of here, and then we're going to place 1 underneath, another 1 to the left, another 1 underneath, then do a bottom left diagonal. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 underneath, then 1 to the left, fly back in 1 to the right, so back into this one right here. Once we're flying back into this one, we're going to place 1 going underneath, and then we're going to place 3 to the right. So 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, it just connects underneath from this block sticking out to the left. So I'll zoom out so you can see what we've done so far. And once we have done this, and your build's looking like this so far, we're going to fly back to that one sticking out there. So let's fly back in towards here. Once we have flown back in towards here, we're going to place 2 going to the left from here. So 1, 2. Then we're going to place 1 on top. Then we're going to do 7 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. As you can see, there's one above this one here with a 2 gap going towards it, just like so. And that's what that bit should look like right there. And once we have done that, we're going to fly back to this line here. So where we just went to the left to from that one that originally was sticking out, we're going back to that line right there. We fly back in towards here. And once you're at this line, we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1, 2. And then we're going to place 1 on top. And I'm just going to zoom out so you can see where we're going off. We're going to be going off right there. And then once we have done that, we're going to fly back in. Once we've flown back into here, we're going to do 2 upright diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And from this second one that we just done here, we're going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to place 1 to the right. And fly into the left and place 1 on top. Just like so. So that should look like that. And then we're going to fly back to the one sticking out here. So back to this one that was sticking out here. So back to the one sticking out here. And once we have flown back to this one here, we're going to do another 3 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And that should just like that. And as you can see, there's a 1 gap connecting to the second bottom one of this one sticking up here. Just like so. So once we have done that, we're going to fly back to the one that we placed up here. So back to the one that we placed up here, and we're going to do 3 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, it's just one above this one, just connecting like so. And once we have done all this, we're going to fly to the bottom here. So back to this bottom line, but we want to be going to this one this time. So we're going to go to the one going up. So I'll place my gold block just so you can see where we're going off. We're going to be going off that little angle there. And once you know where we're going off, we're going to fly back in. And with our black concrete, we're going to place 1 to the left of here. Then we're going to place 2 going up. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal from here. And then that should just connect to this one on the top, just like so. Now we're just going to zoom out and have a look what we've done. So again, that should be looking like that, just like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to fly back to the 2 that we just went up by over here to the left. So back to here. And we want to be flying and going off the very top one. So from this very top one here, we're going to do an up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to do 2 upright diagonals. So 1 and 2. And from the second one, we're going to place 1 going to the right, as you can see, connects to this one here underneath. And then we're just going to place 1 on top. Then we're going to do an upright diagonal. We're going to place 1 to the right. Then do another upright diagonal. And then we're going to place 2 to the right. And as you can see, the middle one connects down like so. And then another 1 to the right. Now I'm going to zoom out and have a look what we've done so far. And as you can see, that's what we've done so far. So once again, we've done the pull. Again, these are probably like the hardest parts to explain. They're not that hard to explain. It's just like there's a lot of placing and a lot of going back and flying out and zooming in. It's one of the parts where usually sometimes, you know, there's parts where you can just kind of listen. You don't even need to watch really the screen. And then this is kind of one of those parts where you need to watch kind of more. But anyway, once we have done all this, we're going to fly back onto the 2 we just placed to the right. So back up to here. And once we are back up to here, we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal. And we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. Then we're going to do 3 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And on this third one, we're just going to place 1 going to the right, just like so. There we go. And then we're going to do 4 upright diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from this 4th one, we're going to place 2 on top. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do another upright diagonal, and we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. And then we're going to repeat this 2 here 4 more times in an upright diagonal direction. So do an upright diagonal, place 1 on top. That's 1, and then that's 2, and then that's 3, and then that's 4. And once again, that should be 5 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And once we have got 5 of these 2s here, we're going to fly back up to the last one we just did, so back up to here. And we're going to do 2 upright diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And from this second one here, we're going to place 1 on top. We're then going to fly and place 1 to the left. And then we're going to fly back into the right. So back to here, back to this corner right here. And once we are back to this corner right here, we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. And we're going to place 2 going on top. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do another upright diagonal from here. And then we're going to place 4 on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do another upright diagonal from here. And we're going to place 5 on top this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill this little sector in now. We're just going to do an up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to fly back up to this one. So where we just did the up left diagonal from. And we're going to do an upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, we're going to do another upright diagonal. And so we're going to place 1 going to the right, and then we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1, 2. Then do a bottom left diagonal, so just place 1 to the left of this one here. Then we're going to fly back to these 2 that we just placed going underneath. And we want to be at the bottom one, so do this one right here. We're going to place 1 to the right. And then we're going to do an upright diagonal. Place 1 on top, and then do an up left diagonal. Then I'm just going to zoom out and you can see what we've done so far. So we're just doing that little part there. So those little gaps there, those are actually filled in with nothing but air, so we don't actually touch those gaps. I just thought we might as well highlight that area now, because basically we're coming back to here as well, because it's part of the tail going up there. But those 2 gaps are nothing in there, by the way. And proceeding on with the build, we're going to fly back up to the up left diagonal I did. So back to the one flowing up here. And we're going to place 7 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And again, might as well while we're here, we're going to take out our gold block, and we're going to place 1 going to the left from here. So place our placement block 1 to the left from this 7. And then we're going to take out our black concrete, and we're going to place 3 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3. And then do a bottom left diagonal, and place another 2 to the left. So 1, 2. There we go, and as you can see, that's two 3s there, so 1 and 2. And then we're literally done with that area. So just break this placement block, but what we're going to do now, we're going to actually fly back to this second 3. And we want to be in the middle one, and we're going to place 1 gold block on top, just like so. So we should look like this. And once we have done this, fly back in, take out your black concrete, place 1 on top of the gold block, just like so, and then we're going to do an upright diagonal and place 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then do another upright diagonal, and then there we go. Then just destroy your gold block. I did that now just because it's actually like an awkward area to come back to. Or like we would probably explain that area usually at the end because there's a lot more to do in the tails, but while we're there, we just might as well do it because it's close to us and it saves us a lot of time. But again, proceeding on with the rest of the build, flying back to this 7 that we went up by. So back to here, we're going to do an up right diagonal from here. And we're going to place 3 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3. And we're now going to be moving on to the bit of a tricky part. It's not like super tricky, it's just, again, with the black concrete, it's a bit thick layered in this area because it's the mouth, and it's always hard to explain these areas because it's not like you can just fill it in because we're doing the outline. But once we have placed 3 going up, we're going to start off by placing 2 going to the right from here. So 1 and 2, and then we're going to place 1 underneath just like so. And then once we've done this, we're going to do a bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, we're going to place 4 going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to fly underneath, and we're going to place 1 underneath each of these end 2 here. So place 1 underneath this end 1, and place another 1 just like so. So again, it's a bit like thick layered, like a 2x2 square kind of, minus the 3 to the left. But once your build is looking like this, we're going to fly back down to these two here. So these two bottom two, we're going to be flying to the right one. And from this right one, we're going to place one to the right and then one underneath. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal, and we're going to place two going to the left. So 1 and 2. Then we're going to do an up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. And from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to do an up left diagonal and place one on top. And as you can see, it connects in up right diagonal direction to the end of this 5 in total going along here. And there's a 1 gap in between here, just like so. Again, I'm just going to zoom out so we can have a bit of a better look. And I was going to leave this part for like a later date when we actually do the filling in, but I think we might as well do this now because it actually probably is, again, one of the more awkward areas to explain. We're going to be doing the mouth. So, we're going to start actually doing the mouth, and to start off, we're going to fly to the right hand side of this 2 sticking out here. So as you can see, where I am hovering over, we're going to be going back to here, over here. And once we have flown back up to here, we're going to go off the top one first, and we're going to place another 2 going to the right from here. 1, 2. Now we're also just going to place 1 underneath each of these 2, so 1 and 2, just like so. So as you can see, it's a 2 by 3, just like that. Once we have done that, again we're going to fly back up to the top row. So back up to this top row here, we're going to place another 1 to the right, and then we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. And then we're going to place 1 to the right from here. Again, this is where it gets a bit tricky, but we're going to do upright diagonals first, and then basically we'll come back to layer up the area. So we'll do the outer edge, and then we'll layer it up and come back to it. So, once we have done this, we're going to do 4 upright diagonals from here. So, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, your 4th one should just connect up here, just like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 black concrete going to the right and just fill in that gap there, just like so. And as you can see, there is a 4 gap in between here. And then what we want to do is we want to fly up to this one sticking up here. So the previous one that we placed up here, that's sticking up here, we want to fly back up to here. And what we're going to do is we're going to place another one just going on top. And then we're going to actually start to layer up this bit, and then we'll move back up to here again. So, from this one that we just placed on top, we want to fly down by 1. So to this middle one kind of going here by the 3 who on the left hand side. And once we are in line with this one, we're going to place 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal, just like so. So place 1 down here. And then from this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 1 going to the left again, just like so. And then we're going to do 3 bottom left diagonals from here. So, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to place 1 underneath, just like so. And then there we go. And then we just fill in those 3 gaps. By the way, again, I've said this before, but make sure you always destroy your diagonals. No matter what you're doing, even if it's meant to go in those areas, if you did it the other way, so going up and then down, then it just wouldn't work. But if you did it that way, then it would have worked. But again, because it can go wrong or it can go right depending on the direction you go, you always destroy your diagonals. I know maybe using a placement block might be easier, but I still don't think I need to use a placement block for diagonals because it's a diagonal, and a diagonal is just meant to be a diagonal, really. It doesn't really need a placement block, you just gotta do the diagonal in my books. That's how I see it anyway. I know a lot of people see it differently, but that's just how I see it. But again, moving on with the build, fill in these 3 gaps here, and then we're going to fill in that little gap there as well with our black concrete. So just fill this in, and there we go. We're just going to zoom out, and that should look like that. And hopefully we're going to try and finish off the rest of the mouth. So that's actually like the most thickest layered part done, kind of. The rest isn't actually too complicated. There's a bit more, kind of. But proceeding on with the build, flying back up to the one sticking up here. So back to this one that we placed up originally. And once we're flying back to this one here, we're going to place 2 going to the right from here. So 1 and 2. And these 2 that we just placed to the right, we're going to layer up these 2. So place 1 on each of these 2 here. So 1 and 2. And that should just look like that. Once we have done that, we're going to be on the top row here. So on this top row, we're going to place 1 going to the right, just like so. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 4 going up from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to place one to the left and fly back into the right. So that's the outline for the mouth. That will be this one here. And once we've flown back to the right, we're going to place another 4 going up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then once we're done this, we're going to fly down by 1. So fly down to here, and then we're going to place 1 to the right of here, just like so. So as you can see, there's a 1 gap just here. And then we're going to go down underneath this 1 by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And as you can see, there's also another 1 gap just here, like so. Then once we have done that, we're going to fly back up and fly back up to the 1 sticking up here. And once we've flown back up to this 1 sticking up here, we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to fly underneath this 2 that we just placed to the left, and we're going to place 1 underneath each of these 2. So 1 and another 1, just like so. And then we're going to be going underneath this bottom layer this time. And once we've flown to this bottom layer, we're going to place 3 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And once again, we're going to place 1 underneath each of these 3 right here. So 1, 2, and then 3, just like so. And once we have done that, we're going to fly to the bottom row here. And what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 going to the left. And from this one that we place to the left, we're going to place 1 underneath. And then we're going to place 1 to the right. And there we go. That should just look like that. And now we're on to the more easy part. So, once we have done that, we're going to fly to the bottom corner of these 2 going to the side here. Or underneath, just like so. So, to this bottom left corner right here. And once we have flown to here, we're going to place 1 going to the left just like so. We're then going to place 1 underneath. We're then going to place another 1 to the left. And we're never going to place another 1 underneath. And then we're going to place another 1 going to the left. And then we're going to place another 1 going underneath just like so. And we're just going to zoom out quickly. And as you can see, if you're counting like the bottom here, it's a 2 gap, a 2 gap, and another 2 gap. And then a 1, 2, 3 bottom left diagonals. And once we have done that, fly back to the 1 underneath here. We're going to place another 1 to the left, and then we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to place 1 to the left, and 1 underneath. Then 1 to the left, and then 1 underneath. And then we're going to place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to place 1 underneath. And then we're going to place 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to place 1 on top. And then we're going to place 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3. Now what we're just going to do, we're just going to place 1 on top. And then fly back underneath. And then we're going to place another 1 underneath. Then we're going to place 1 to the left. And then we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1 and 2. And as you can see, we connect back to here and back in the middle right here, just like so. Now we're going to zoom out. So as you can see, there is the entire outer side outline. As I said, like, this is actually probably going to be the hardest part out of all the parts. And I think I've explained it pretty well, to be honest, to the best I can. Hopefully you were able to follow through anyway. But, well, we aren't quite finished yet. We've just got to do the inside of the mouth. And so we're going to take out our black concrete game, still using this, and we're just going to go back to that 1 sticking up there. So, we're going to fly back up to here. And once we're flown back up to here, we're going to place 1 going to the left from here. Then we're going to place 1 underneath. And then we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1, 2. And then we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to place 3 to the left. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to place 2 underneath. So 1, 2. And then we're going to place 2 to the left. So 1, 2. And then we're going to place 2 underneath. 1, 2. And then we're going to place 2 to the left, so 1 and 2. And then we're going to place another 2 underneath, so 1, 2. And this time we're going to place 1 to the left. Then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. And then we're going to place 1 to the left on this bottom left diagonal. And then we're going to do an up left diagonal. And then we're going to do a bottom left diagonal. And then we're going to do an up left diagonal. And then a bottom left diagonal. And then finally but not least, do an up left diagonal. And as you can see, that up left diagonal just connects in the bottom left diagonal direction to this one here and the one underneath. Now I'm just going to zoom out and we can have a look what we've done so far. And there we go. There's everything done so far. So once again, you would be filling in the mouth with the, I believe it's the snow. because it's a lot whiter. For some reason, white wool's not always white. I believe it is snow. But again, I'll tell you that when we actually get to that part. That one sticking up there, that is going to be doing the nose. We're not going to do the nose today, and we'll also be coming back to this bottom one here. Actually, you know what? We're going to fly back over to this line here, because we're going to do this line here, just so we're in line back up to here. So this line going here, where we started off doing the mouth, going to the right here, we want to fly to this one right here. I'll place a gold block just on top so you can see where we're going off. So we're going to be going off right there. So fly back in towards here. And once we're flying back in towards here, we're just going to go up by 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, we're in line with here just like so. We're just going to fly down by 1 from this third one here. So fly down by 1, and we're going to place 1 to the left just like so. Then fly back to the right and go back up. So back up to here. Then we're going to do an up left diagonal from here and place 1 to the left. Then we're just going to zoom out. And as you can see, that's what it should look like. So I did that just basically so we actually add a bit of a better point to where we're going to be going off. And again, that is all from today. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button because it would help out the channel and this video do better. And also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it would really help me out to upload these more daily and more constant, and just as a whole, release more and new pixel art tutorials. And turn on the bell to get notified. And again, if you've got any suggestions, feel free to put your suggestions in the comment. So far, I have done every suggestion so far that has been suggested. Which again, as I said before, I don't guarantee I do every suggestion, but I want to try and do every suggestion. And again, as long as it is a appropriate suggestion or something that's, you know, actually decent, basically. And all the other ones that have been suggested that I haven't brought out yet, those are already actually being done as well. I've already finished 1. There's another 2 that I'm doing, and I'm just getting them ready. But of course, we can't release them yet into pixel arts because we would just have too many at once. So we've got to have a nice smooth pace. And without further ado, that is going to be the end of the day. So again, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out and goodbye. Bye bye.